Oh, what a conclusion. What a conclusion. What a fucking conclusion of Death Parade. That was quite the finale. That was quite the finale of Death Parade. I really want a season 2. I really want a season 2 because after seeing this, there's still some hints at a possibility of a season 2, which I'll save for the end of this review. But the emotions, the feels, the theme, just the characters, everything in this episode, like, probably one of the best episode of Death Parade. Just, like, this episode was powerful. It was really powerful. It was almost as powerful as, the detective and, the boy that, wanted to kill the person that was watching his sister get raped. It was pretty much the exact same thing, almost. They had, like, the same amount of feels and stuff. I'm like, oh my god. Like, this episode was on almost a masterpiece level. That's how great this episode was. Because seeing just the dialogue of what Chiyuki did in this episode, and the maturity of the writing. Oh my god. Like, the maturity in some of that writing was just astounding. Seeing that scene, that scene when you think, like, that ending scene, or, this episode entirely, it gave me the exact same feels that the first episode of Death Parade gave me. Like, the first time I sat down and watched Death Billers, the OVA, before Death Parade came out, that's what this episode gave me. It gave me that exact same impression. Like, that exact same feel. And I don't know how to describe that. In other ways, I've already described Death Parade. Like, I was fooled. I was fooled for majority of this episode. Like, how we all were when we first walked into Death Parade. Like, when we first walked into Death Parade, regardless if you watch Death Billers or not, when you watch the first episode of Death Parade, or if you watch the Death Billers first, you know that feel of mystery and, being fooled by the king. You know that feel. And with this, I felt the exact same way. When you find out that this lowest level that we thought was part of the real world reality, the physical realm where everybody was alive, when we thought that was part of that, and, Chiyuki was looking at her mother crying and stuff like that, I was like, yo, this is sad. But come to find out, this was just a judgment, and it was all an illusion. Just an illusion. And then the veil over our eyes just got lifted up, and I'm like, They just played me. They just played with my feels from, like, the first episode of Death Parade or Death Billers did to me, and I'm like, Death Parade, man. That just, like, splendid. Fucking splendid. It really was. But here's the thing, okay? What makes this episode so powerful, and what makes this finale so powerful, is the way it went, the direction that this episode went. Seeing Chiyuki as a character, she has been through a lot through this season of Death Parade. She has been through a lot. She has witnessed a lot of evil, a lot of darkness of humanity. She has seen the ups and downs of people, the good and light side and the dark side of people, and she knows, some have died with regrets. People have died with regrets. They know that they have, caused guilt or issues on others when they have died. They realize they have left a huge and heavy burden on their loved ones when they have died. And some die without having a fulfilled life. Some die without a fulfilled life, some die with a fulfilled life, and they can die old and happy, like, the old woman a couple episodes back. And we got to see multiple different perspectives of this through the journey of Death Parade. And that played a major role in this conclusion of Death Parade, because Chiyuki came face to face with something that majority of us, all of us, in general, as human fucking beings, would have a very hard time to do. Like, the maturity that Chiyuki did in this is astounding, because if you were in that spot, let's say you or me or whatever, we were dead, we died, and then we know we're dead, but then we're told that we are looking at the, the physical realm, the plane, where you were once living, and you see your loved ones in pain, suffering, crying, and, and you want to say you're sorry, and say, like, I'm sorry for causing you grief, I should have respected you, different things like that. Everybody dies with regrets, and to see how Chiyuki overcame that, that was just one of the most impactful moments of Death Parade, because any normal, like, usually, let's face it, okay? Human beings will fucking go off of emotion. We will continue to make decisions off of emotions. This was already showcased in the murder type Death Parade episode, when you saw the murderers pitted against each other and seeing both perspectives. It was already obvious that human beings, they usually think or make decisions with their emotions. And to see how Chiyuki overcame this, and she pushed past this guilt she had for forcing all this pressure on her mother before she died, it's very sad, because you gotta imagine, if you're in that spot, like, I mean, this is just, hypothetical and just stuff like that, because it's only a hypothesis. If you were in that position, and you were just watching something like that, you would most likely push the button. You would. Let's just face it, you probably would push the button. But then, Chiyuki started thinking about other things when she had those flashbacks of what she has been through. There's others besides Chiyuki that has also suffered and been in the exact same position as her, had regrets when they have died. They have wanted to go back to the physical realm and say they're sorry, say they were wrong, or different things like that. There is some people, or majority of people, that want to do that, and we were shown that with the flashbacks of this episode, and Chiyuki realized that, and she realized that her life shouldn't be any different from the others. She made her own decisions. She made her own choice when it came to her life, and she realized that she should have valued her life a lot more, and the power of how she was fine that she lived, she was happy she lived, and she comes to terms with how she shouldn't force this issue on another, because when Dakeem pops the question, he's like, there's 7,000 people that die like an hour. That's what he kind of says. It might be a minute or an hour, but he says like 7,000 people die, and if you press this button, you will kill someone. Like, someone will die, but you will revive. And all the memories of the people that, know of your death and know of your death or anything like that, they will forget, and they'll act like you've been alive. And the thing is, with that, Dakeem put, like, the ultimate temptation in front of Chiyuki. That is the biggest temptation you can offer someone, especially when you know you're dead. When you are dead and you know you're dead, that's probably the ultimate temptation, because would you really be certain? Would you not want to go back and say you're sorry? And the way he did that is a much better way to, I guess, bring out the truth of someone's human soul. To see how dark they are, how kind they really are. To be able to see Chiyuki as a character sacrifice her position to go back, even though it was a fake, it was a ruse, and, she wasn't going to get revived no matter what. Just to see how she, in her mind, thought she sacrificed that chance. It just shows you the level of what she was thinking and what Dakeem was really trying to push onto her. And when he realized that she was willing to not go back and not force this issue of someone else feeling the same pain as her mother, that's why Dakeem broke down, because he couldn't believe this human, this person, this girl, sacrificed her chance, even though it was fake, sacrificed her chance to go back to say she was sorry, because she didn't want to force this exact same pain on someone else. Maturity. Just straight up maturity. This finale, it has so much meaning, but there's so many things that it still has yet to answer. A lot of things still need to be clarified, because we still don't know the real person, the big dog up top. Like, we know there's other companies, companies that, handle, deaths and stuff like that. We know there's other buildings that have arbiters. It's already been mentioned quite a few times through the journey of Death Parade. And we don't really know the real endgame or the true standpoint of Oculus in this series, because his eyes are completely different from everybody in the series. He has demonic looking eyes, and obviously he is different. He's probably a demon, as I've been saying for a long time, but it's more than that. He even states in this finale he is also a puppet. He is a puppet. So, what is he? And that needs to be answered, because the finale, like the final line he says is like, usually when arbiters get too close to humans and they live with the living, they will only suffer and pretty much break. And that is what he was kind of saying about Dakeem. Dakeem will eventually die or break. He'll shatter because of the burden of suffering that he sees from the people he judges. And he has a good point about that. I mean, seeing these people suffer and pain to choose these decisions, and if you're closer to humans, you'll have more compassion and you'll try to understand them a lot more. And he's right about that, but still, the way they were judging was wrong. But who's to say that the way Dakeem is going to be judging is the right way too? Because it's just going to bring so much suffering onto Dakeem, and he will eventually break. So I wonder if we're going to have a Season 2. I know Madhouse doesn't do Season 2s. I know they usually don't, but this series really calls for a Season 2, because there's a lot of questions that really do need to be answered, and I hope it does. Because I'm satisfied. I am satisfied with the series. I am satisfied with this finale, and just, I want more. And it's just like, because there could be more. There can be more. And I think Madhouse knows it, too. They probably know it. The way they kind of left it slightly open-ended makes me hope they might do that. But probably not this year. They might not do one this year, sadly, because, you know, there's a lot on their plate. You know, One Punch Man, the next season, that's going to have a romance. It's going to be very high quality. And they're doing Overlord, too, if I'm correct. They're doing also Overlord in the summer season. So yeah, they just, like, they have a lot on their plate. I just hope eventually Death Parade does get another season. So tell me your thoughts. What is your final thoughts of this magnificent series? Like, 9 out of 10 series for me, in my opinion. It's 9 out of 10. And best series of this season. It is best series of this season. There's no denying that. It's the best of this season. The finale has left me just saying, like, this is fucking good. It just, yes. So yeah, best anime of the season, in my opinion, of, you know, winter 2015. I've enjoyed it. Tell me your thoughts. You all have a wonderful day or not, wherever you live, and it's been fun chatting with all of you and talking about Death Parade. Thank you all so much. Chibi out.